Hey friends, welcome back to Simply Home and Harvest, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm saying it a little bit early, but when you see this video, we are probably about a week away. So we are definitely in the Thanksgiving time of year. Some of you might already be celebrating with your families, or you might have Friendsgivings that you're attending. So I wanted to go ahead, give you a few tips and tricks that have worked for me over the years, and also some make ahead recipes this week that you can go ahead and make, put in your fridge or put in your freezer, and then on Thanksgiving Day or the day before, you'll pull them out and you'll be ready to go. So our family is hosting Thanksgiving in our home again this year. We're expecting somewhere around 30 people, 30 family members, and very exciting. It's something we love to do, but it is a little bit of extra work. Over the years, I've learned some tips and tricks that have helped me to put together a little bit of a less stressful holiday for my family, and I want to share those with you. Also this week, I'll be sharing some make ahead dishes that you can go ahead and prepare the week or a couple of days before. You'll have those ready and you can pull them out Thanksgiving, and you won't have to sweat so much and work so hard because a lot of the things will already be done for you. Now you can see I have taken down my fall decorations. I've got kind of a blank slate, and I decided to try something different this year. This is a first for me, and my kids kind of talked me into it, and it's something that every year I say, I really wish I could go ahead and decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving, because by the time Thanksgiving's over, it's just such a busy season and it feels like I don't get to really enjoy it. So this year, my family was like, yeah, let's do it. So we are decorating for Christmas, yes, before Thanksgiving, oh my goodness. But you know what? I feel like we can still be thankful and have thankful hearts whether we have fall decorations or Christmas decorations. So I'm gonna go for it. If we don't like it, we won't do it again next year. But I've got my cookbooks pulled out. I'm working on getting all of our recipes out. You did see that I went ahead and made some cranberry sauce. Got that right here. So that is good to go. Went ahead and canned that up, and we have that ready for us. So that's one thing checked off the list. But I'm gonna go ahead and get some other things made, and I'm gonna show you what I do. I wanna share with you those tips first that I have learned over the years. Okay, are you ready? This is to help you not be so stressed out if you are hosting Thanksgiving. My number one tip, make as much ahead as possible. You will thank me later. If you can go ahead and make dishes, that way you don't have to have your oven taken up for other things. You can use your oven for your rolls, for your turkey, for your ham, whatever you're making. And if you can get some of that stuff out of the way, you know, that's one less thing that you have to think about. Plus, if you spend less time in the kitchen on Thanksgiving Day, you can enjoy the day and spend more time with the people that you love. Number two, ask family members or friends, whoever's coming to Thanksgiving, to bring dishes. More times than not, the people that are coming to Thanksgiving, they want to help out. They want to bring something or contribute in some way. So let them do it. Don't take all this load on yourself and try to make all the dishes yourself. I've been there and tried to overachieve on Thanksgiving, and it will do nothing but stress you out. So take some stuff off your plate, delegate, and get your family and friends involved and have them make some of the dishes. Number three, it's okay to outsource, and especially I'm talking about outsourcing the meat. The last couple of years, we have used a local restaurant in town to supply our already cooked and sliced and seasoned turkey. And you can also do that for ham or whatever meat you're choosing to serve on Thanksgiving. Now, for many, many years, I made a turkey. My husband smoked one in the smoker. But, you know, those were some hard nights. He'd have to stay up all night long watching that meat, and then he would just not really enjoy the next day. And then I really didn't enjoy Thanksgiving either, because I was trying to get up, trying to make sure that that turkey was perfect. And, you know, it really was a little bit of a stressor for me. Plus, I just found that it's really, most of the time, for me anyway, it's the sides that really matter. But you want to have turkey, you want to have a good turkey or ham or whatever. So it's okay to outsource your ham and turkey. Find a local restaurant. You could order a turkey. So anything to help you out, go for it. Don't be ashamed to ask for help and to do that for yourself. Okay, number 4. Uh-oh, I might get in trouble for this one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's okay not to use your real plates. I know, and I'm giving you permission. It's okay. You know, I say real plates, your china, it's for a more intimate gathering. If you have, you know, a handful of people, if it's not very many in your family, like maybe 10 to 12, you can definitely, if you can all sit at one table, use your real china, use your dishes, because you won't have as much cleanup. But if you've got 30 or 40 people coming for Thanksgiving, it's okay not to use real plates. Now, there are beautiful festive plates you can pick up. Of course, y'all know my favorite place is Hobby Lobby, but this year I found some at Sam's, and if I get them in time, I'll insert a picture. But they look like real plates, but they're not. They're plastic, they're disposable plates, but they look like real ones, and I think that's what we're going to go for. And you know what, it's pretty, you gotta spend some money and buy them, but it keeps people from having to wash dishes afterwards, keeps you from having to wash dishes afterwards, and nobody cares. Food tastes the same whether it's on a real plate or one that you can throw away. Number 5, keep a journal for future reference. Now, this is something that I learned early on was important to do, especially if you are making the turkey or if you are making a lot of the other sides. You want to know how much meat you need to feed the people in your family, or who likes this side, or, you know, Uncle Joe, in our case, really liked the pumpkin roll. And so I knew that, hey, gonna have to make that pumpkin roll every year. But things like that, if there's certain dishes that you know is a big hit, hey, you know what? My Aunt Tara, she makes an asparagus casserole, and she knows not to come to Thanksgiving without that, because that is my favorite side dish. So little things like that, you know, jot down what worked, what didn't work. Maybe the place you ordered your meat from, if you decide to do that, make a note in a journal. Did we like it? Was it cost effective? You could go in together with a family member. That's what we're gonna do to be able to afford that outsource option. So keep a journal. That way you can look back on it next year and you'll know how you did it and what worked and what didn't work. Above all else, make sure that you relax, enjoy the day. If you're like our family, you really sometimes only get to spend this much time together once a year, maybe twice if you're very fortunate. But once a year with family members that you don't get to see very often, that drove a long way, and they drove a long way not to see you in your kitchen, stressed out, or washing dishes, or having to fix things last minute. They want to spend time with you. And if you're calm and you're relaxed, they will be too, because nobody wants to come into a house with a stressed out hostess. So relax, enjoy the day, spend less time in the kitchen and more time with the people you love. All right, y'all ready for some make-ahead dishes? Let's go. First up, we're gonna be making some make-ahead mashed potatoes. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and cut our peeled potatoes into cubes. See, if you make these potatoes ahead, you won't be chopping so fiercely on Thanksgiving morning that you cut your finger. Ask me how I know that that is possible and can happen. And then nobody has time for bleeding, you know, and when you have to hold that bandage or hold that Band-Aid, it's just no fun. Plus, you know, your guests might not want to eat your cooking if they know that you had a bloody finger preparing it. So take your time, and one way to do that is making them ahead. All right, now that we have all of our potatoes cut into cubes, we're gonna cover these in water and get them boiling. All right, now that our potatoes have come to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and let these continue to cook and boil for about 20 to 25 minutes. And since we don't have but half the amount that I normally would, it might only take maybe 20 minutes, but we'll keep checking. A good rule of thumb is to cook your potatoes until they are fork tender, and then all you want to do after that is drain the water off. All right, now we're going to use a potato masher, and we're just going to mash our potatoes until we have them all mashed really well. Then we'll start adding all of our other ingredients. Now once you have your potatoes mashed to your liking, you're going to add 1 stick of butter, or that's half a cup, and then to that you're going to add 1/4 cup of half and half and 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And then I'm just adding about 4 ounces of cream cheese that I let soften a little bit. And then to that I'm going to add my seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I also added in some seasoning salt to that, so just however you like to season your potatoes. And then just get that all mixed in together, and really it just comes together quick and easy, and it's that simple. Next, you're going to want to add your potato mixture to a greased or buttered casserole dish, and once you have all of that in your dish, you're just going to spread it out. You're going to wrap it tightly or put a lid on it and stick it in your fridge for up to 2 days. Our make-ahead mashed potatoes have been in the fridge for 2 days, so we just pulled them out. I put some more pats of butter on them. Now we're gonna get them into a preheated 350-degree oven, and we're gonna bake them for about 30 minutes. We're just, remember, heating them all the way through and letting that butter melt down in there. These turned out perfect as always. This is one of my favorite make-ahead recipes for Thanksgiving. I highly encourage you to try this year. They just really taste like you just took them off the stovetop and made them fresh the morning of Thanksgiving, but you didn't. No one has to know, and you eliminate all that hard work on yourself of peeling the potatoes on Thanksgiving morning when you have a lot of other things to do. So give this a try. Let me know what you think in the comments if you do. I'm here to make your life easier and more simple, and as my husband says, work smarter, not harder. All right, it's another day, and look what I have. My fabulous father-in-law dropped these off yesterday, and yes, we've got some work to do, but fresh pecans are so good. They're just so much better to me than the ones you can buy in the store, but you earn it. You know, it's not easy to get the pecans out of these shells. So we have some work to do. I'm not going to spend all day doing this. I need a cup for our make-ahead pumpkin pecan pie. I'm so excited. So I'm going to go ahead and get that made today. We'll bring you along. But first, let's get cracking. Next up, we're going to make ahead a delicious pecan pumpkin pie. All right, guys, since we worked so hard shelling all these pecans, and I did have help from Alex and then his friend Emerson, she came over and helped too. So thank you, Alex and Emerson, for getting all these pecans prepared for us. So since we worked really hard on this, we are going to save ourselves some time. We're going to use our prepared pie crust here. So now I decided I'm going to go ahead and make 2 pies because I'm going to make one and freeze one for Thanksgiving. And I would freeze both, but I thought y'all might want to know what they taste like tonight. You might not want to wait on the taste test. The only thing with the store-bought pie crust is sometimes they can stick together a little bit more and tear. That's okay, we know how to fix that. All right, we got our pie pans here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get those down into our pans. And we can go back and fix that with a little bit of water. I don't know if you saw this trick when I made the apple pie, but you can just wet your fingers and go back and pinch your dough, and that will close up any cracks that you have. That's kind of a neat trick. Just especially if you have trouble rolling one out like I do. But definitely if you have the time, make your own pie crust. It's really not that hard. It is a little bit more time consuming, but you can definitely get that flakier crust for sure. And these are actually cake pans. I could not find any pie tins. I guess this is the time of year where they got bought up before I got to them, but I'm just trying to give our edges a nice little look there, but because it's not really shaped like a pie pan, it's a little bit harder to get what I want. All right, first thing we're gonna do is make our pumpkin pie filling, and that is going to go on the bottom. Now I am doubling the recipe, but I will put the recipe in the description box below this video. But that recipe will probably be for one pie. So I'll put a note on there that if you want to make 2 pies, you just need to double the ingredients. So we're gonna do 2 cups of pumpkin. We're gonna add 2/3 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, and then it calls for 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. I'm going to do about 1.5 teaspoons since we are doing 2 pies. Let's just say 2 teaspoons for 2 pies. Okay, I'm gonna whisk our eggs a little bit. And then we're gonna get all of this incorporated together. Now we are just using canned pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie mix, just the canned pumpkin. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and make our pecan filling. I wanna go ahead and get both fillings made before we start assembling the pies. All right, so we're gonna do our pecan pie filling a little differently. I'm only gonna make enough for 1 pie. I was hoping I had enough ingredients for 2 pies, but I didn't realize that I would have needed 1.25 cups of the light corn syrup, and I only had 2/3 cup, which was only enough for 1 pie. So it's okay, you won't be confused if you look at the recipe in the description box, because it will just be for 1 pie. And like I said earlier, if you wanna make 2, double it. What I'll have to do is either make a pumpkin pie with that extra one, or wait to maybe wrap that one up and wait and bake it tomorrow when I go out and get more light corn syrup, because it's pouring down rain right now and I just don't feel like going out today or going back out today. I've already been out once. So we're gonna carry on with what we have. All right, we're going to combine 2/3 cup of light corn syrup, and I sprayed my measuring cup with nonstick spray to see if we could get this out a little bit easier, because it's like a honey consistency, so it tends to stick to my measuring cup, but it came out pretty good. Okay, so not too bad. Then we're going to add 1/2 cup of white sugar. All right, we're gonna crack in 2 eggs. We're gonna do about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Whisk those eggs really good in that. Just gonna stir in our nuts. That's 1 cup of pecan halves, is what it was supposed to be, but you know, if you've ever cracked pecans yourself, to get the halves sometimes doesn't work out like you want it to. And my helpers did as good a job as they could. I tried to go in and make sure we had all the shells out, but I think we did a pretty good job of that. All right, now it's time to assemble our pies. This is the one we'll eat with dinner tonight. The other one, the crust on the other one looks a little bit better. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Which one do I like better? I actually think I think this crust looks better. So we'll save that one for Thanksgiving. And we'll just use this one tonight. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're only gonna put half of this in because we did double it. So we're gonna start out with the bottom layer, which is the pumpkin layer. Now, very carefully on top of this, we are going to add our pecan pie filling. Oh my goodness, that looks like it's gonna be amazing. We are definitely gonna put this on a cookie sheet when we bake it in the oven because this is a very full pie. So definitely use a deep pie crust or deep pie dish. What am I trying to say? Deep dish pie crust. I think that's what I mean. This is going to bake for 50 minutes in a 350-degree oven. You'll want to go ahead and preheat your oven. Be very careful when you move this to your oven. It will move around a lot and you don't want to have any spills, so just proceed with caution. Now you will know your pie is done when it has set in the middle, or another way to find this out is to stick a knife in, and if it comes out clean, you're good to go. This is always the hardest part for my family. You really need to let pies, breads, anything that need to be sliced cool completely before you get into them, or else you will just have a mess on your hands and things will fall apart. So I tried really hard to get this slice of pie out. I could not find my pie server, but we did the best we could with what we had, and successfully I was able to get a slice out that actually looked like a piece of pie and not a crumbled up mess. So Ella's gonna give it a taste test and we'll see what she thinks. Ella's gonna try it. Looks good. It is good? Mm-hmm. Good. She's gone. Well, I'm going to enjoy this pie and I'm going to call it a night. But I hope you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you will try some of these make-ahead meals and dessert ideas, and there will be a couple more to come. I plan to do a make-ahead rolls and a sweet potato casserole later this week, so be looking for those videos. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd love to have you join me here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, remember to live simply, use what you have, and enjoy the moments you've been given. Bye for now.